in relationships with women and stuff. What made me feel like I can't be bothered, I'll tell you, is the consistency in negative, non-positive relationships and interactions has brought me to that. And not meeting anyone who wasn't just on a surface level of it's about what they want, and once you get into a relationship, everyone has their wants and needs and what they want, but I mean, this thing about changing people, I've kind of got past that thing of like wanting to change somebody to how I am and how I think. And I was meeting a lot of people who are still in that space of thinking they can change someone to how they want them to be, to fit in their mold of whatever it is they're trying to build in terms of relationship or their idea of relationship. So that was a contributing factor as well, like meeting people who want to change me, how I am and how I behave and my routines and all that kind of stuff. Just want to fit you into their way of being. That was a big contributing factor. And not just meeting not enough people who complement who you are and you them, because sometimes it's not just about them being all not compatible with you. It's about sometimes you're not compatible with them. You're just sometimes too much for them, or they're not enough for you, or vice versa, you know. So when you ask me that question, there's a lot of different contributing factors, you know, and I'm a busy person as well. Like, I invest a lot of time into myself and growing and building and self. I'm a lot about self. And I will say in a selfish way, because I think, like, we talk about, for example, I'll give an example, like we talk about quality time. When we talk about quality time, we always talk about quality time as if it's to be with another person, like quality time with this person, quality time with that person, with your loved one, your significant other. But what about quality time with yourself? Because without that quality time with yourself, you're not going to be good for anyone else, you know. With that rebuilding of yourself, that replenishing you need, that, you know, can't pour from an empty cup type, you know, quality time that you need with yourself to rebuild and focus and be who you are and understand that you can only be good for someone else once you've covered that. I wasn't meeting enough people who understand that, you know, you know, people need to do things on their own and they need their quality time. And I just haven't yet met the person who makes me feel otherwise, like who doesn't make me want to be on my own, who doesn't make me want to be in my own space and be happy to just be a singleton hermit recluse, locked away in my dungeon doing my own thing. I haven't met the person yet who, at least as an adult, I may have met people younger and wasn't sensible enough or mature enough to actually understand what was going on and hold on to it. But definitely in older life, I haven't met the person yet who makes me feel like, yep, this is the one. I don't want to be on my own anymore. I don't want to be a singleton hermit recluse. I want to be with someone. I haven't met that person yet. I haven't yet met that person who makes me feel that way. I hope I've answered the question in some way, but I just haven't met that person yet who makes me feel I want to share myself with anyone. And talking of like quality time with a person, I don't want to be sharing myself with someone who is not a whole person by themselves. I don't need someone to come and make me whole. I need quality time with someone who is a quality all by themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, who is a whole person coming together with myself, who is a whole person. I can't be with someone who is half of themselves. You know? I just don't feel like, maybe I'm looking at it wrong, but I don't feel like I'm here to save someone, you know? Like, you come together as whole people and you work together and you make that greater. You don't come like with an empty cup and expect someone to fill you up and then get upset because they can't fill you up. You know, they can't give you what you need. You need to kind of find that within yourself somehow. You need to get to that place. And I don't have the answer to what that is or how you do it, but you need to do that. You need to work on yourself. That's what the quality time should be, about self. Then when you come together with another person, you're a whole person and you just make that something. Two halves coming together don't necessarily make a whole in this case. You know what I'm saying? I think more people need to be selfish. I think they need to be selfish and take that selfish side of themselves and live it out, having quality time just on their own, just for themselves, and to work on themselves. It's hard to do that when you're wrapped up in another person. People need to work on themselves. They need to be selfish. I'm going to be about me. I need to work on me. I need to focus on doing what I need to do to get me to where I need to get to. Then I'll be ready for you. I need to be selfish right now. I think a lot of people need to be selfish and work on themselves so that when they get into fucking relationships, they're ready. They can deal with whatever comes in that relationship and they don't run at the first hurdle or crumble at the first hurdle or end up getting divorced after 5 minutes because they haven't worked on themselves enough. because then you would understand when an argument is coming or a disagreement is coming, how to deal with it, rather than it becoming some massive thing that ends in divorce, like, or a breakup or a fight or whatever, all three. You know, be selfish, get to know yourself, get to understand yourself, grow, and then think about getting into relationships with people. I did it the other way around, where I wasn't ready, and I learned the hard way. So I'm coming back around now thinking, okay, I need to work on myself. I need quality time with myself. I need to be selfish. I need to be a better person in terms of understanding how the whole fucking thing works, even though I don't know if that's even possible, if that ever really happens, if you ever get to the bottom of what relationships and love is all about. But I'm giving it a go, and I'm much better than I used to be, because I've spent some of that time working on myself and being alone and being celibate and all that kind of stuff, and getting to a place of understanding of myself. So when that next person comes into my life, I have more to give, and I have more understanding, and I'm more of a whole person to be able to bring something to the table to make a thing work for us. That's how I feel about it, and I'm still learning. Like, this is not a complete authority on the subject of love and relationships and all of that stuff at all. I might be pretty close though. I might be pretty close to understanding how this whole thing works, or how, at least how it should work, or how it can actually, two people can actually maintain something lasting and meaningful. I think I may be onto something, you know? It's an ongoing process of learning, but I think I'm making progress in being a bit selfish and going away and coming back again. You know, like when the team loses and they have to go away and look at what they did wrong, how they could have worked stronger in their defense, how they could have, you know, put this man in this position because he's stronger in that position. Like, it's the same thing. Like, you go back and look at, okay, how could I have handled things differently? How can I do this? How can I be better in the future? You know, what is it about me that I need to work on? All that kind of stuff. And that's what people are not doing. Surface level people, looking at hunks with broad shoulders and nice faces and broad hands, and looking at girls in mini skirts and high heels and nice legs and big boobs, and that's it. I'm down. Count me in. Count me in. Let's get married. Understanding nothing about what's underneath. Like, when all that is not a thing anymore, when all that's kind of been played out and we've had that, we've felt the boobs, you know, we've felt the broad shoulders as much as we could possibly feel them. Now what? What's underneath all that? That's what people forget about. That's the real shit. Like, when all that surface stuff is not a fantasy anymore or a thing anymore, like, what else is there? What's underneath? Are we going to be attracted to what's underneath all that? That's the real thing.